Hey Ryan, mate. Can you hear me? Ryan's connected.
Hey mate, all right?
Yeah, fantastic, bro. Oh, glad we got it on here because then we can put the recordings on the group and you can go back to it and you'll be able to hear your questions on it at the same time, which will work quite well. Shut that door. Got too much sunshine. That should work good. Yeah. Beautiful.
Killing two birds, one stone here. I'm having my dinner as well.
Oh, nice, mate. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool that you got some time while you're at work and stuff. So, yeah, fire away with your questions, mate. Happy to help.
I'm just wondering what's the plan going forward? Obviously, when you sent me the initial thing of what we were going to do and stuff, I was like, there's obviously like a few bullet points I've actually asked you. I don't know what the plan is going forward because obviously at the moment I'm doing the Qenda and do you know the list that you give me all the foods and stuff? I'm doing that. I'm just wondering what's happening going forward. I mean, what was it called? Some sort of medication.
Like stuff like that. What the best?
Yeah. I was wondering if do I need any of that or?
Yeah, so I'll be sending you over the serapeptase next month with some more Qenda for you. So let me just put my phone on Do Not Disturb, mate. Popping up with stuff. You're still there? Can you see me? All right, yeah. So I'll send you over the serapeptase with the Qenda on month 2 because then you would have had two tubs worth of Qenda, and then it's time to introduce the serapeptase. That'll help break down stuff like the biofilms and stuff like that that's built up in your body. The Qenda does that to a certain degree, but combining that with the serapeptase, which is a proteolytic enzyme, is like an amazing 1-2 combination. So I'll be sending you a month's worth of serapeptase next month with the Qenda, and then another.
I was just thinking there, like, obviously I've been on the Qenda for like 4 months now, so could we not do it now?
No, because you was doing it sort of on and off, and if we get your diet right at the same time, it's going to be helpful. Last time we spoke, you had a little bit of time off it, didn't you? Or you was having 1 serving a day or whatever.
Yeah, I'd had a little bit of time off. It was a few months ago that now, though. Probably about 2 months ago, about May time.
Yeah. And you went down to the 1 serving a day, didn't you?
No, not all the time. I was doing 2 scoops mainly. Two servings. 2 scoops twice a day, most of the days. It was just the odd couple of days in between where I would forget.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, we need to get your bowels moving and stuff. So, yeah, we'll just like it's a 3-month protocol, so we'll just do it properly from now, if you know what I mean. It's not because we're do stuff like obviously we want to get your bowels moving, and if we just do it like step by step, we know that we've done everything correctly, if that makes sense. Like I'd rather just go step by step and make sure we're ticking all the boxes and introducing stuff at the right times, if that makes sense. And I know when it comes to like diet and stuff like that, obviously now you know like what foods are like feeding the overgrowth, but like you said about the cordial, like that's a sugar, so you're literally putting sugar in your digestive system all day every day, so that sugar's feeding the overgrowth. And like I said on the last call, like we're either getting rid of the overgrowth or we're feeding the overgrowth depending on what we're doing. So when we are having the Qenda, we are getting rid of the overgrowth. But then anytime we're having like fermentable carbohydrates and stuff, we're actually feeding the overgrowth. So it's just getting the balance right so we can get the overgrowth levels down in your body. So
I thought cordial was sugar free.
Yeah, like, well, it totally depends on like which cordial you're talking about, doesn't it? And like how it's been made and stuff. So what's the brand, what's the ingredients in it, mate?
Well, to be honest, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. And I just know it's Tesco.
All right, yeah. And the thing is, if it's sugar free, that means it's got sweeteners in there, and sweeteners can really upset the digestive system. So just because something's sugar-free, it doesn't actually make it good for you, if that makes sense.
I know that anyway.
Yeah, so you know it, but sometimes we need to be told it. And
I just thought with the cordial being like such a small amount, like it wouldn't really be doing much.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, you know how I said your body takes so long to digest something. So, and what's happening when people get constipated, they're like never having a gap between meals. So, you know, we said like ideally you want to be getting hydrated, waiting 15 minutes, and then having your meal, and then waiting an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then hydrating yourself again, depending on the fat level of the meal. 2 hours.
What did you say? I get hydrated and wait 15 minutes and then have my meal.
Yeah. You know, we mentioned.
So I can drink up until near enough my meal, because obviously I know I haven't been drinking after. I've been waiting like a couple of hours.
Yeah, so you can drink up to 15. Like it takes 15 minutes for like water or like non-sugary stuff or whatever, like stuff that doesn't have a lot of bits in it or whatever, to pass through your stomach. And then, so if you drink and hydrate up to 15 minutes before your meal, and then stop drinking, let it leave your stomach, and then you have your meal. So if you're drinking like 5 minutes before your meal, it's just going to mix with the meal and not make it flow properly. So
all right, that's cool then.
Yeah. So, and then with regards to like cordial or mixing stuff in water, by all means, like if you want something flavorful, like the best thing you do is just get a lemon and squeeze it in your water, and then
that's what I meant.
Yeah, that's a lot healthier and tastier and more refreshing than cordial. Well, I don't know about tastier, but it's a lot healthier and a lot more. So because
every like all day, every day.
Yeah, and the thing with that is like not even just talking about. Well, yeah, it's on a similar level to the meal timings and stuff. Like if like you're putting that in your body's got to sort of separate that and the water and digest it. So it goes back to the whole meal timing. And if you're not giving because you know how I said people get constipated when they are not having a gap between the meals, not just on a hydration level, but on a like ideally you want to have a meal and then wait like 3 to 4 hours before your next meal, which you have been doing, but you've been having cordial in between. So that's like, I know it's a small amount of cordial, but your intestines are never actually getting a break.
Yeah.
Because you're always putting something in there. So what it is, you have a meal, and I'll just say it again, just to make sure we go over everything. You have a meal, and then you let it digest for an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then you want to have like that hour to 2 hours after that. So that's the 3 to 4 hours after your meal. You want to not be putting anything else in, because when you leave your digestive system to process that meal and you leave that bit of time, because your digestive system's just a tube, when your food's going through, it goes into your small intestine, out of your stomach after an hour and a half to 2 hours, then it's in your small intestine, and it's got to work its way through your small intestine and obviously get processed and digested. But it'll do that for say an hour and a half to 2 hours. As it's gone through your small intestine, then when you have a gap with nothing in your intestines, obviously water's fine, but if you have a gap with nothing in your intestines, then it can do something called an intestinal sweep. And what it does, it goes on and gets all the debris and just gets stuff moving. So by having cordial and giving your small intestine, even though it's a little bit, it's giving it something to digest. It's never having that time to do the intestinal sweep. And that's where constipation can come from.
I'm right by saying that cordial breaks so fast as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, like anything over 50 calories breaks so fast. And so your intestine.
It won't be calories though, will it, cordial?
Sorry?
Cordial won't be over 50 calories, will it? It'd be next to nothing, I think.
Yeah, possibly if it doesn't have the sugars and stuff, but it's still stuff for your body to process, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's just like, are you totally against having water with like maybe a little bit of salt in it and a bit of lemon in it, or?
No. I've been putting a bit of salt, the rock salt.
Yeah, nice.
Using a bit of that. But yeah, I'll do the lemon.
Yeah, great.
Is that fine? That won't have the same effect as cordial, will it? Where like it makes
No,
break
because
down.
it gets like your digestive system going. It's good to have like lemon before meals, but then I'd be having just water between meals, if that makes sense, just to give it a bit of a break, and then have the lemon before meals again. So, because I know you have decent quality water because you've got a zero filter.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you're having high quality water, which is great. But if you can have water for that period, it'll help. It's just
just with water with nothing in then at all.
Yeah, you put some salt in, like, because to actually hydrate you need a little bit of salt in it. No, my phone's going off. Yeah, to hydrate you, your body needs the sodium to actually make the process of absorbing the water. So
how much put in? Because I've just been putting like a pinch in.
Yeah, you don't need much at all. A pinch is fine. A pinch is absolutely fine. So, yeah, that's fine. Because the thing is, like, if you're putting salt on your meals, you're getting your salt intake on there. But if you're not salt meals, you can put a bit more in your water. But putting a little pinch in water every time, especially if you filtered it, then you're putting the trace minerals back in the water that the zero filter potentially has taken. I don't know the ins and outs of a zero filter totally, but if you're taking stuff out, you want to be making sure you're putting the salt in, and then it's got like all the trace minerals in it as well.
I'll go. I've been obviously following the food a lot more. I'll give you like a breakdown of what I've been having, because I've really probably been trying to like be quite strict, unless like I go out for a meal. But like a typical day for me now is probably like I'll have some fruit and eggs for breakfast.
Awesome.
And then I'll have like during my meals during the day, maybe like 12 o'clock, and then about 5 o'clock, I've just been having like some chicken or beef with organic veg, like broccoli, and been using like all the right veg that you've been saying on the PCV chart.
Awesome.
And like I've been using as my carb substitute, I've been using swede. So, but obviously I have to eat a bit more swede than potatoes to match the calories. So I've been looking at that. But yeah, I've tried to be limiting it to eat like to one meal a day, where I might have like one fermentable carb or one bit of gluten. But to be honest, I've been avoiding gluten most days.
Oh, amazing. Well done.
Unless I go out for a meal. Like last night I went out for a meal and got a pizza, so
yeah. Opposite end of the scale. When you go out for food, just like if you're having steaks, like that's like the healthiest thing you can pretty much get on a menu. But if you want pizzas and you want to treat yourself, that's cool. But how have you managed to go like a week without gluten yet, to see how you feel without it?
No, not yet. Not a week. No.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if you spent a bit of time without gluten, then it'll help your body see how your body feels without it, and then you'll know how detrimental it is to your health, like how much it can give you a bit of brain fog and low energy, and
that's probably for me though, cutting out gluten totally.
Yeah,
I've seen what I did before, because obviously if I go out when it comes to the weekend, if I'm off, I'll obviously go out for a couple of beers and go out for a meal.
Yeah. So because obviously we mentioned like alcohol wise, like gin and tonic was fruit in would be like ideal, but if you're going out once a week for pizzas and once a week for beer, like it's a bit stressing your digestive system. I know it might not be what you want to hear, but yeah, like if we're talking about cleansing your body, it's good to have a bit of time off these and be a little bit stricter with yourself, and like just replacing, yeah, because like beers, it's like fermented, like wheat and barley and stuff, which is obviously gluten, but then normally they've been sprayed with like glyphosate and stuff, which is really estines. But yeah, so I'm not going to condone it, but if you want to do it, we'll just know that, yeah, I'll just let you know that it's not the healthiest choice.
Yeah. And I mean, like, what I'm trying to what I want to know more so is it still possible to sort my problem out, but still at the same time have like a couple of beers on a weekend?
I just like there's no simple answer to that. Like we can follow the protocol, and if you're eating in some areas and it still doesn't work, then we know it won't work. But yeah, ideally, if we was doing a full healing protocol, like I'd be saying no, don't do it. Like that's obviously the obvious answer.
Yeah.
By all means, like if you're having like fermentable carbohydrates, that's better than say gluten and glyphosate and stuff like that. I'd be cheating with like potatoes and sweet potatoes and stuff like that than cheating with grains and gluten, because grains and gluten are just hard on the digestive system.
Yeah. So would you say that the gluten's worse than fermentable carbs?
Yeah, absolutely. Just for the reasons that, like I said, wheat's been sprayed with glyphosate. Glyphosate burns a hole in your intestinal linings,
right?
And that irritation. Like, obviously, there's the cordial that's been going in, and that could be a factor. The thing is, like, the point of this is I make you aware of all the factors that are contributing, and then we can go forward. Like, so that's where these conversations come in really handy. So we can cover all the areas, and like I said, we're either contributing to dysfunction of the digestive system or we're not contributing to it. So so it's just making sure you understand all the factors, and then we can go forward from there. Then obviously that's why we're talking, to see how your body's reacting to the changes that we're making and stuff like that. So have you introduced the colonic massage at all?
I've done it a couple of times, but to be fair, I've been going to the toilet the last few days quite sound, like a couple of times a day.
Yeah, awesome.
For the last week or so. Well, I mean, do you remember our first phone call? After that, I didn't really go at all for a couple of days after that. But then, since then, so the last like maybe week and a half, I've been fine. I've been going a couple of times a day, or at least once a day anyway.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, so a couple of times or once a day. Yeah, because it was like once every 2 days, or not at all, wasn't it? Before. That's good. It shows your dietary changes have made a difference, which hopefully gives you a bit of faith in what we're doing, because it's like everything's incremental. Like I said, like we're introducing this stuff, and they're all factors that contribute to poor digestive health. So we eliminate as many factors as possible and make sure you're doing as much stuff right as possible. You're going to heal faster. Simple as that, really. So we'll get you these in about 2.5 weeks.
How will I know when I have healed? Like, it sounds weird. How will I know that things are starting to make a difference, do you think?
Yeah, so we want your bowels moving. We want healthy looking stool.
Because I've been going lately. It's a lot loose. It's a bit looser than what it was.
Yeah.
Could that be due to anything?
Yeah, because you said you had you're still seeing like weird stuff coming out every now and then. So for as long as that them toxicities and them infections are inside you, we do.
To be fair, it doesn't look like that now, though. It just looks like a bit more diarrhea-ish.
Yeah, and that shows we've got some overgrowths that we're dealing with, basically. And that's why we're doing the protocol again properly. Yeah. And that's why you're doing the coaching, to make sure, because although you was taking the Qenda before, obviously there's other factors that contribute to it. So
yeah.
We'll just go, and that's why we're doing 3 months, to make sure we just do everything right and we can, and stuff. That's why coaching is so important, because otherwise you could lose faith. You're like, oh, well, it's not working. And it does work. It's just that we're doing factors that we hadn't even realised are. So they're a bit loose, which is great, because the thing is, you're not feeding them as much with the fermentable carbohydrates.
Yeah, so definitely not feeding them as much.
Yeah, which is great, fantastic. So then they're going to be coming out, and you've got to remember that like 25 of the like 200 parasites that are on record are what you can see with the naked eye, and then so the other 175 are microscopic. So if you're getting loose stools when you're on the Qenda, that just shows that you're cleansing. That's a good thing. Especially with everything going on. Because say when we last spoke, like a week and a half ago or whatever it was, said it wasn't that long ago when you saw stuff coming out. So it's not that you see stuff come out every single day. Like parasites can lay their eggs and they can lay dormant for 6 to 8 weeks. So that's why we're doing the cleanse all over again to make sure you're covering that egg cycle of the parasites over that 6 to 8 period. So and then because you're not feeding them and stuff, we're really starting to make some progress now. And then when we introduce the serapeptase as well, that'll help again.
Yeah. What did you say that serapeptase does exactly?
It breaks down the biofilm. Like these overgrowths can make a protective layer over themselves.
I remember you describing this in the video. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they're not getting fed, they can just put a protective layer over themselves. A lot of stuff like cinnamon and a lot of the other ingredients in the Qenda can take that biofilm away, but the serapeptase is just good because it helps with healing. And obviously with you getting that diagnosis of the ulcerative colitis and stuff, was it ulcerative colitis or Crohn's?
Yeah, ulcerative colitis.
Yeah, I thought it was. Obviously, I speak to a lot of people, but so with you getting that diagnosis of ulcerative colitis and it being in the lower part of your colon, I just wasn't sure if it was in your small intestine as well. Yeah. That means there was bleeding at some point. That means that there is or has been like cysts and ulcerations.
Yeah, I mean, lately the blood seems to have reduced, but I'm not sure if that's just because the stool's obviously a lot looser. So I'm not sure if it's getting diluted a bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also the thing is, the overgrowths are more the small intestine. Like I know you're getting symptoms in the large intestine, and the doctors say, "Oh, it's all large intestine," and then they end up cutting people's large intestines out. But the problem's actually in the small intestine, the overgrowths and stuff like that. So, which is why you get like flatulence and stuff like that. So if people are getting gas or bloating, flatulence or whatever, it shows that the carbohydrates they're having is reacting with the overgrowths and giving off a gas. So you're not feeding them now. And my point is they're all in the small intestine. So we're really working on the small intestine. And obviously when the Qenda goes through your large intestine, it does all the same job as well. And when the carbohydrates and the diet you're eating goes through the large intestine as well. But what I'm saying is we're dealing with the small intestine as much as we're dealing with the large intestine. So that's what's going on. And that's where you get all the brain fog and the low energy and stuff like that. So you say you're still getting a bit of blood in your stools?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. When we're cleansing and healing, we can actually be taking layers away of the intestine. You might have no blood for a while, and then there might be blood, and you think, "Fuck, I've gone 10 steps backwards." But actually, you're not. Like you can have like raw feeling when you're cleansing, and it's literally like taking layers away and making sure, because the same like these overgrowths can lay eggs in your intestinal tissue. To get them out and stuff, you've got a bit of collateral, which is the blood and stuff like that, because obviously it's taking stuff away.
Yeah, I would have thought personally that I would have been maybe cleansed by now. Is that maybe wrong to say? Just with me being on the Qenda for ages.
No, because you're right. Like I said, if you had your diet and everything in check before, yes. But now we do it
of course, yeah.
the correct way. So and that's what I mean. It can be without having this support from me, it can be a bit disheartening because you're like, well, I should be fixed now, but actually there's factors that are happening, and they're the ones that we're dealing with, and that's why we sort of started the protocol again, because obviously looking back on your diet now, how now you know what you know. Looking back on your diet, you can see how you was actually feeding the overgrowth at the same time as you was cleansing them. You might have been cleansing in the morning, maybe in the evening, but in between you've been feeding them, and it's actually your dietary habits was actually quite hard on your digestive system with the cordial and stuff like that. So hopefully it's starting to make a little bit of sense now, like why it hasn't totally worked yet. Like, don't get me wrong, it was bringing stuff out, but like you said, you was cleansing for 4 months, a little bit late, but that 4 months. Yeah, sorry.
I never said anything there, mate.
Oh, right. Yeah, I just said, sorry. So, yeah, you was cleansing for that 4 months, but then you were still seeing stuff coming out towards the end of the 4 months. And that's when...
I don't know if it was... I don't know what I was seeing coming out. When you described it before, it sounds like it might have just been the jelly substance from the Qenda.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, it's like, if it's brown and looks like the Qenda, the colour of the Qenda, and it's a jelly, that's the stuff that's coming out. But so how's gas flatulence been?
I am quite gassy, but I have been going to the toilet as well.
Yeah, that's great, because if you're not having the fermentable carbohydrates and then you've got the gas and you're taking the Qenda, that shows it's the Qenda killing off these overgrowths and giving gas as a byproduct. So that shows there's still overgrowths in there that you're dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm still having some fermentable carbs, but like it might be every other day or every other day, which I'm trying to do. So I've definitely went from having it. I mean, it must be doing some good, because I went from having maybe 3 different meals where I'm having fermentable carbs in a day to now having maybe 1 meal every 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
so that must be helping, surely.
Oh, absolutely. Everything you described is great. Like, just to clarify that, the fact that you're having loose stools now and looser stools and more bowel movement, and you get everything you've described is great. We're definitely moving forward. That is progress. I know you've been doing this for like a week and a half, 2 weeks now, and our whole lifestyle and how we've been brought up is like instant results, but that's why it's a 3-month coaching program, to make sure like you're on the right track and stuff after this 3 months. And we're talking about healing a disease here. So like everything you described is great. Like the loose stools, that's actually great. Like if your stools just went to normal, that would show there's nothing to cleanse, and then I'd be scratching my head like, well, that's not good, because we're doing protocol here, like we're healing your body. So I guess I haven't said that enough. Like, this is great, everything you said's happening, and it definitely is helping. Like, you can tell that because you've seen a change in your bowel movements and a little bit less blood, and it's all good signs. And you've got to remember, we've just started afresh, because what you did before didn't work, so now we're doing it correctly, step by step. So it's incremental changes and incremental stuff, but so hopefully that gives you a little bit more confidence. Or I know it can be, to me it's easy, because like I've helped so many people, I'm like, this is great, but like when it's yourself, I know what you mean, because I've been there at one point when I was helping myself the first time, and it's like I said, you feel like you've taken like a few steps forward and then 10 steps back sometimes. But we need to get this stuff out your body. So loose stools shows that you're cleansing and there's stuff coming out. So that's great.
All right, spot on.
Yeah, we're good. So you got any other questions, mate?
Not at the moment. I'll have to next time I think of one, I'll have to write it down just so I can tell you.
Yeah, I'll go back on that Facebook message, make sure we've covered everything, mate.
That's a good idea, actually.
When we're going through the healing protocol and supplements, we do that's what we're doing. That's what we're talking about.
What are your recommended meal timings, if you have any?
Yeah, so we've covered all that with you. Like meal timings is the gaps between meals.
Right, okay, yeah. Is that what it means?
Yeah, and like we went over your schedule and your day before, didn't we? Obviously, getting up at 6, going to work, having your breakfast earlier, then you're giving that time in between, and then you're having your lunch at 12, and then so you're having the gap in between. It's just that you've had the cordial in that gap, so it hasn't actually been a gap, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, properly, like obviously we've talked.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so meal timings, we've nailed that. Like it's not like 9 o'clock you do this, 12 o'clock you do this, 3 o'clock you do this, because obviously to the person and their schedule. And you've got a good schedule anyway. You're quite regimented in the way your shifts work. It all it works. It's quite easy really. And medications. I think you're not on medications now, are you?
Well, I'm not on any medication from at the hospital to do with UC, no.
Yeah, but are you on any other?
I take finasteride.
Is that antihistamine or?
No, it's because remember me saying about my hair coming out before.
Oh right, yeah.
And like it probably is due to this. Well, I'm hoping it is. But I started taking that just in case it wasn't, in case it was hereditary.
Oh right.
Because that reverses that.
Is that from
doesn't reverse it, but
is that like a petrochemical medication, or is it what is finasteride?
It's just a tablet form.
Yeah, but what's the ingredients of it?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, like if you're putting something in your body, you want to know where it comes from and what the side effects are and all the rest of it. Is it like over the counter, or is it? Have you bought it off the internet?
Yeah, you can get over the counter. Yeah.
Yeah,
you can get it prescribed to you. But I got it off. I basically got it prescribed. Yeah.
Yeah. So, homework for you then. Open up the sheet that it comes with and look at all the side effects, and that might put you off taking it. Like,
I've always looked at the side effects, to be honest.
Yeah,
I haven't had any side effects at all.
No, but the fact that it can give you them side effects is quite worrying. But yeah, so you're just having it to stop hair loss.
Yeah.
Right, and and what is your hair stopped falling out since, or?
No, it's supposed to take 6 months before you can notice a difference. 4 to 6 months, because obviously your hair loss cycle is it's like a 4 to 6 month cycle, isn't it, your hair?
Yeah.
I've been doing that about 3.5, 4 months.
Yeah. All right. That's entirely up to you. That's your choice. If you're happy with the side effects and stuff like that, obviously
that's not going to get in the way of what we're doing now, though, is it?
I don't think medications are part of natural healing by no means.
I don't think it's what, sorry?
I don't think it's going to help at all. Medications just, like the fact that they've got a big list of side effects, they're just not. The whole point of natural healing is getting your body back into balance. And the thing with medications, they just work on like single pathways in the body. But you've got like 7 billion processes happening in your body all the time. So medications are just, it's using chemistry to fix biology. And it just, I don't think they're helpful at all. Like the proper way of healing is getting your body back into balance and getting rid of the stuff that's knocking your body out of balance, whether it's diet, lifestyle, supplement, overgrowth, or whatever that is. If it's like an over-the-counter or if it's a prescribed medication, it's like it's a derivative of the petrochemical industry. So it's got toxins in there. So just have a look over the side effects, and I'll send a picture of it to me, and we'll go into that a little bit more, mate. Ideally, the whole point of this is to get you off all medications and get your body back into balance. That's
But what I mean is, if my hair loss is hereditary, which I'm unsure, but I doubt it is because my dad's got a decent head of hair, then this actually, it's like clinically proven to stop your hair falling out. Like, I know people who took it and it stopped it.
Yeah. So that's a choice of your own, isn't it? I'm not here to make all the choices, but you want my opinion, I won't be having it. But
Because what I mean is, you're saying like, oh, we want to do this cleanse and put my body back into balance, but that's if I'm due to lose my hair, I'm due to lose my hair. Do you know what I mean? It won't fix that, will it?
No, but like if it was like literally alopecia, I've helped loads of people with alopecia. That goes back to the leaky gut and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
I haven't got alopecia.
No, like
he calls it telogen effluvium.
Yeah, doctors have loads of funny words for it. But what's that mean? Where's it? Is it thinning like at the top round here or at the back?
Yeah, but it just comes out everywhere as well.
Yeah. So, because that can be like hormone levels and stuff like that. That can be a big contributing factor as well. Like, you ever had your hormone levels checked or?
No, but this tablet works on changing some sort of hormones.
Yeah, and that's where it gets a bit.
I think it stops something to do with, what is it called? Is it DHT? That's what it's called. It's something to do with the like testosterone and the DHT or something, and it stops something from releasing something that makes your hair fall
out. Yeah, so like high testosterone is linked to hair loss. So you probably see that in males that are like quite muscly and stuff like that, and they go bald quicker. But low testosterone and high estrogen can also cause hair loss. So that's why I mentioned about the hormones. And obviously you're aware of that because you know it works on the hormones. So, how long have you been on that for, mate?
Probably about 3.5 months.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously my honest answer is I wouldn't want you on it. Like I said, with medications, playing with your hormones is never a good idea. Like, obviously, balancing your hormones great, and getting rid of the factors that are knocking it out of balance is great. Supporting your body and getting your hormones balanced is great. Using medications that are just working on one or two pathways is not good. That's my honest response. I'm not going to condone it at all, but you don't want to be messing with your hormones like that, mate. In my honest opinion, but
I tell you what, when I have time, I'll send you the package and or the sheet that comes with it, and maybe you can send us like a once over, just so you have a better idea of what it's actually doing or contains.
Yeah, sure, that'd be great because obviously, that'd be fantastic, mate. Yeah, fire it over and I'll have a look at it and we'll go from there. But like I said, the reason why people have hair loss is either high testosterone or low testosterone. And like I said, you know that because you're taking a medication to with your testosterone levels and stuff. But you're a young lad. Like hormone replacement therapy and stuff like that is like a big decision. Like you've got to go in there knowing. I'm not saying it's hormone replacement therapy, but you've got to go in there knowing what you're doing and the downstream effects of that. Like, if you start playing with your hormones, your body stops making it and balancing it exogenously. So you start have them medications for the rest of your life. And some medications are a life. And I hope I've been clear about that. And it's
I just want like my whole aim behind all this cleansing stuff was just hopefully fix something that was stopping that would stop my hair from falling out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, and that's
But
why.
I didn't know if it was caused by this or whether it was just hereditary.
Yeah. So, like you said, if it's hereditary, it's going to happen anyway. If it's the imbalance of hormones, that's directly related to your gut health and stuff anyway. So, like, the way it works is our liver processes the estrogen that's flowing around in our body. And obviously, you've got an estrogen testosterone balance along with other hormones. Estrogen, obviously, like female hormone, but it does a lot of processing in the body. It's not really a female hormone. That's why males have it. But so with being constipated, you'll actually be absorbing a lot more. Sorry, my dogs are outside. How wonderful! So by being constipated, you're actually absorbing more estrogen than what you normally would, because it's supposed to be processed by the liver, and then it's supposed to go out the liver into your intestines and into the toilet. So by being constipated, it's actually getting reabsorbed through the intestinal lining and going back into the blood. So yeah, when we get your bowels flowing and stuff like that, you won't have such high estrogen levels, which can help balance your hormones in a natural way.
Right, interesting.
Yeah, cool, eh? But yeah, that's why I like to do it naturally. And like I said, when you start messing with hormones, you're playing with fire. Like
I might just stop taking it then.
Yeah, I'd 100% recommend that, because like you said, if it's hereditary, it's not really going to fix it. Did you say it does fix it if it's hereditary?
It just stops it falling out. It prevents it from getting any worse.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, that's a decision that's up to you. But if we're talking about balancing your body, and obviously the whole point of you doing this is to get you healthy and well again, I don't think medications are the way to go about it for the reasons we've all explained. Like, you're literally playing with one or two pathways, and you're playing with hormones that you don't really. It's like going in a car and just starting like pressing loads of buttons on the engine management or whatever. And if you're on a computer, like there's a lot of downstream effects. But so yeah, I don't mean to sound a bit harsh, but yeah, I'd rather, you want the truth from me. So yeah, we can get your hormones balanced without that, definitely. And hopefully it makes a bit of sense now. When you're constipated, you're absorbing more estrogen, and it knocks your hormones out of balance from the off.
Yeah. I'll stop taking it. I'll send you that stuff anyway, but I'll stop taking it.
Yeah, good choice, mate.
And then hopefully it's just the cause of all of this, and knock things back into whatever. But
yeah, the same reason why
won't find out until we've finished, really.
But right, I've got to shoot off now. I appreciate the call, and pleasure, mate. I'll speak soon.
Thanks a lot for taking time out.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
See you later, mate.